Oh, yeah. Sunset Rewind, week number 6. Every Sunset League team has 5 games under their belt. So that's it. The preseason is done. We're headed into league next week. Only had 1 game on the slate this week as everybody had buys with the exception of Fountain Valley. So how'd the Barons do, Coach?
Well, they did great. Let's get into it. Well, first of all, let's take a step back. How about the Sunset League? 24-6.
Wow.
Didn't lose a game last week. Now there's only 1.
Right.
Didn't lose a game the week
2
before.
straight weeks undefeated, yeah.
And before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to Kent Piquel. He sent me a text last night, and if you don't know who Kent is, he's the announcer for Los Al, and he follows a lot of the stats and things like that.
Him and Justin Conley.
Right. So Cal Preps is one of those organizations that follows all the schools, the power rankings, and all these other factors and formulas they use. Long story short, out of 2,171 leagues, they currently, on their power ranking, have the Sunset League at number 28.
That's in the entire United States.
In the entire United States, which puts them in the top 1.2%.
Wow.
Now, I think that ranking's a little low personally,
but
I'm biased.
But as am I.
When you talk about premier leagues and things like that, when you're basically in the top 1%, that's a quality league. I mean, there's a lot of those private leagues and all that stuff. So you knock out about 20 of them out. Now you're talking top 8 in the country.
Yeah, and the non-league record, 5-0, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 3-2.
Yeah, and ironically, the team favored to win the league championship. Los Al had the 2 losses, but nobody around here wants to play them, so they got to go to Florida. They got to play Arizona teams. So those are forgivable losses. I mean, those are quality losses. So this team from top to bottom, I've got them in the top 5 in the country personally. But that's a 800 win percentage too. Yep. All right, so let's talk about Fountain Valley. Yeah, they had a great win against Aliso Niguel the other night. Cole, can you go ahead and pull up the play? We're going to talk about the defense real quick. A couple plays I want you to watch. First play is by defensive lineman Michael Rocha. He's at the bottom of the screen. He's going to do a good job getting off the block, crossing the face of the tackle, and making a play in the backfield. It was a low-scoring ball game, so really the defense all night long did an outstanding job.
He just flat out beat his guy to the quarterback.
Beat him, but here is the play of the night, or at least the hit of the year.
Oh, Cain Elroy.
Cain Elroy scraping across, recognizes the back, and boom.
Boom, look at that paint fly off the helmet.
Yeah, when you start to see articles of clothing get detached from the player, that's a big-time hit.
Oh, my goodness.
And ironically, he didn't get a flag.
Wow.
Nowadays hits like that, that's almost a guaranteed penalty. So Cain Elroy, hit of the year so far.
Oh, that was awesome.
So let's talk offense. So late in the game, it's the 4th quarter. Fountain Valley's down. They need a touchdown to take the lead. And Luke Taylor's their slot receiver on the top of the screen. The defensive back for Aliso Niguel is 12 yards off. And when the ball is snapped, he's going to continue to backpedal.
He's almost playing prevent defense there.
He's become a non-factor. So you typically don't want to throw the post pattern against single high safety. But he's so far back, he's out of the play.
Yeah.
Banua reads it, makes the right throw, and then after he catches it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps before a defender even makes contact with him. So,
well, look at that pocket he was sitting in as well.
Yeah, and that's a nice job by Banua recognizing the proper route to throw to just because the defense was being so passive. And late in the game like that, you got a challenge.
Talk about open space.
Now, watch the bottom of the screen. Bill Belichick is real famous for saying, do your job. And the worst thing as a defensive coordinator that can happen is when players start doing their own thing. So the defensive end is responsible for contain. He's got to defend the outside, then get to the quarterback. He decides to take an inside move. Okay, Banua recognizes that, and now at the very least, it should be an incomplete possible sack for Aliso Niguel. He loses contain, allows Banua to get upfield, and again, turns what should have been a sack or an incomplete into a first down. And again, they're trailing by 4 at this point. They need the touchdown.
So the DN should have tried to,
He's got to stay home. You
can't
start doing your own thing. Yeah, start going inside, and that created that. Okay, so here's the game-winning touchdown. Banua to Taylor. Banua's going to do a good job in the pocket, stepping up, buying a little more time, allowing Taylor to get across the field. He finds him.
Stay behind the line of scrimmage.
That's right, stays behind the line of scrimmage, plays catch, touchdown. Fountain Valley would take the lead. Aliso now would get the ball back, go all the way down the field with an aid of a couple controversial calls. It's that whole PI thing again.
Yep.
They'd set it for the field goal, and special teams. We talk about offense, we talk about defense, but special teams.
You know who got the block?
Who was it?
Our guy, Fernando Garcia.
Fernando Garcia.
Yeah, the basketball player. Yes.
Well, that's the guy you want on the block.
He blocked the field goal to win the game.
So a great hard-fought win. Cole, we're actually going to go to an interview. Can you go ahead and get the volume up on this one? So after the game, our man Terran Rodriguez had an opportunity to talk to Nolan Oliveras, and let's hear what he had to say.
Taryn Rodriguez of Sunset Rewind with Nolan Oliveras, who had a touchdown catch and he made a couple extra points. All right, Nolan, your team was able to pick up a big win over Elisa Nagel. How big of a win is this for your team going into Sunset League play next week?
It's a pretty big win. Winning the league, gives us a lot of confidence to go against CDM. It's our first league game. And I feel like it's going to bring a lot of energy. And our coaches are going to be fired up for next week to get that win.
Now, your team basically had to grind it out against another 3-1 team and a team that kind of got the better of you last year. How big was the defense and offense for you all this week?
So our defense really showed out today. Got a bunch of fourth down stops. We got the PAT block at the end, which was perfect by Nano Garcia. Our offense did very well. Luke Taylor with the touchdown, me with the touchdown, and then the field goal PAT. Our defense really locked into it, though. It got us the win.
Luke Taylor obviously came up with that big touchdown catch from Noah Banua. What can you say about the receivers outside of yourself?
I feel like our receivers have really developed this year with our new receivers coach, Gordon, Coach McCall. We got Luke Crosby, great receiver. Luke Taylor, another sophomore. He's a great receiver, too. And then we got Fernando Garcia, sometimes playing receiver. We got Joey Garcia playing receiver. We got Scott Peschke, which is a great senior. He's a really big role for us in this team. But yeah, I feel like our receivers are really good this year.
And then next week you open up play against Corona Del Mar. Obviously they've been up and down with some injuries. What can you say about possibly being CDM and what's it going to take to beat the Sea Kings?
I feel like it's going to take a lot more than this game that we did today. We need to put a lot of hard work into practice this week or next week. And our defense needs to play like they did today, and our offense needs to step it up.
Nolan, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Well, another great interview by Taryn Rodriguez. Thanks, Taryn. Appreciate the great work.
You think about Fountain Valley going forward. Last year, Newport Harbor got into the playoffs with a 3-7 regular season record. They're already 4-1.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want you guys to think like that.
Nope.
But for Fountain Valley, of course, their goal is the league championship. Mm-hmm. But anything short of that, if they at least get another win, they've got to be in.
Good.
And honestly, every week they're playing for a playoff spot, also for a league title. But they've got a lot of big games ahead of them between now and the end of the season. And all the leagues, because of what they did in the non-league, I said at the start of the season, I really believe this, every one of them is going to make the playoffs. And based on last year, statistically in terms of wins and losses, they should be in. But again, there's automatic qualifiers. There's different factors that go into it. But if these guys take care of business in league, all of them, you still could have 6 teams make the playoffs, which would be awesome.
And I'll be curious to see when the rankings come out tomorrow, will Fountain Valley finally get the respect they deserve and crack the top 25?
Yeah, 4-1. They got some quality wins. I guess it really comes down to who in front of them lost, because if the top, if the next 5 teams still won, how do you knock them out? But
true.
At this point, who cares? Don't worry about it. You're 4-1. You got a lot of momentum going into league play. Keep it up. You guys are doing awesome.
So that's it for the preseason. We head into the Sunset League this week. Can't wait, Coach. Got a bunch of great games going on. So Fountain Valley, great job. 4-1 going into league. Congratulations, Barons. Keep it rolling.
Let's go.